All right, guys, what's going down, man? This is your boy, DJ Just J with Just Dimes ENT, your humble host of The Subtle You Dig. I'd like to thank you guys for being here.
30 hertz straight up.
Glad you guys are here, actually. Today is the 4th of July, so if you guys did not know, I'd like to welcome you guys to the holiday. Another holiday, another day for foolery, but definitely it's supposed to be a day of remembrance, you know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I have to be the bearer of bad news to report another crazy story that's going on in Chicago. It's not, like I say, it's not the news that I want to do, but it's the news that we do because it's important and it involves children. As you guys know, at the Subtle You Dig, we are advocates for children first. That is what we do. So anytime it involves children, we're definitely going to call those things out, okay? So if you guys want to support the show, one of the things that people do is they actually send us stories. So if there's a story that is going on in your city, if it is not in your national news, then we will put it out there for people to be able to see. One of the ways that you can send it is send it right here. The Subtle You Dig at gmail.com. Send that to me. I'll get those emails, and I have quite a few more emails that I have to go through. So I'm going to sift through your stories. A lot of you guys know I respond to you, so I will get a response to you. Okay. Another way that you can support the show is paypal.me/DJJustJOK. Also, shout out, I actually had another person that sent a patron who became a patron on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/DJJustJOK. And I respond to you immediately as soon as you hit me up on there, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right there. We're gonna go ahead and do the shout outs for the people that are here to support, and then we're gonna go ahead and move right into the show, okay? So I don't mean to put a damper on anybody's day, man. We hope you guys are having a great July 4th of 2018. But we do have some news to report, and it's going to be really quick, and we're going to get up out of here so you guys can enjoy your day. I appreciate you guys being here. For the people that are here, if we could, we got about 130 people watching. If y'all would hit the thumbs up, it'll let other people know that we're live. It also supports the show. If you guys want to support the show further, then as Pete the Pirate put in there earlier, you guys can always hit the PayPal, which is paypal.me/DJJustJOK. Long-term support, you can also use the Patreon, which is patreon.com/DJJustJOK. Now, this is what we got going on, because this actually wasn't highly publicized, but I'm going to put it out there because I think it's important. I think as grown people, if grown people want to continue to keep taking each other out in Chicago, if they don't feel like there's nothing wrong with it, these gangs don't feel like there's nothing wrong with it, to just continue to keep perpetrating the violence against each other, you know, can't stop, won't stop, and all of that kind of stuff, you know, a whole lot of gang shit and all this other stupid stuff that they say. If they don't see nothing wrong with it, then like I say, if they want to annihilate each other, then it is what it is. What's up to Megan Cadden in the building? What's going on? So it is what it is if they want to continue to take each other out. But like I said, I have a bleeding heart for the children. No pun intended. I really do. Because the children don't have any choice in this. Grown people do. Grown people can get up and leave. Grown people can put the guns down. Grown people can stop continuing to breed this type of violence. But the children don't have any choice in that. So we have to give children a chance. And we're not giving children a chance continuing to raise them in these horrible environments like they are in Chicago. So once again, shout out to my guy Rick Rooster, who's in the chat. If you would, Rick Rooster, let him know who you are in there, man. Or all you got to do is just like type something in there, say, hey guys, so that way y'all can know who sent me the story. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. There were 3 girls that were sitting in a car with their mother in Chicago when they were shot by a man who police say was firing at rival gang members. That's how horrible a shot these fools are. Like they just randomly shooting, just hitting, they don't know who. They just hitting anybody and everybody, right? There's my guy, Rick Rooster. So shout out to him. Thank you for sending me this story. He said the story was so horrible, it was caught on video. I had to send it to you right away. Well, I didn't see the video, but I did get a couple of news stories. So if you would, Rick, if you have the video, any type of video, if you would, send me the link and I'll try to download it and see if I can show the people at least some type of footage. You know, maybe, you know, somebody can give us some type of information or something like that. If not, I'm going to show you what I got. Okay. So this guy was firing at rival gang members and in a violent start to the 4th of July weekend, which is typically among the bloodiest stretches of days in the Chicago calendar, which we all, yeah, exactly. A piss poor shot, right? None of the girls who were ages 5, 14, and 15. I'm going to give y'all guys that age again. Ages 5, 4, and 15. All 3 girls. Happy 4th of July to you guys also, right? 3 girls sitting in a car in violent-ass Chicago. I don't know why you'd be outside just sitting in a car for any reason in Chicago, knowing this type of stuff goes on, but, you know, it is what it is, okay? None of them were killed Sunday, but police spokesman Anthony, let me see. Oh, my God, these names. Guglio me. Guys, look, I'm going to take this name and I'm going to post it in the chat. Y'all tell me how to pronounce this stupid name. It's a stupid name. But this is the police spokesman. That's his last name. Y'all tell me y'all can pronounce that. I'm sorry, but I'm not that horrible at reading. These names are impossible to read. But he said nobody was, or he said that none of these 3 girls were killed. And it was actually, I think it was like 6 people that were involved in the shooting that were actually hit. Said the 14-year-old was shot in the abdomen and listed in critical condition. Okay? So that also means that they could potentially die from their wounds. But as of right now, it's reported that nobody's dead yet. The 15-year-old was shot in the thigh, and the 5-year-old was shot in the arm. Y'all hear that? The 15-year-old was shot in the thigh, the 5-year-old was shot in the arm, and the 14-year-old was shot in the abdomen. The woman was in serious condition, and the other 2 were listed in good condition. The fact that the gunman, with a bandana covering most of his face, simply leaned out of the car and opened fire indiscriminately in a crowded area on the city's west side illustrates the willingness of gangs to wage war regardless of who's around. And it also explains why the police department has, according to the police spokesman, I'm going to just call him police spokesman, Googly Emmy. Thank you, MFSVH. Somebody said it's pronounced Google me. So, yeah, I'm not going to pronounce it as Google me. So we'll say Google Emmy. Google Emmy. Whatever. All right, thank you, Rick Rooster. I'll check the email here in just a moment. So I'm going to say the police spokesman assigned an additional 1,700 police officers to street duty during the coming long holiday weekend. But I'm going to tell you guys what's actually going to happen. What's going to happen in this story is that the police are not there to stop the violence. The police are not there to protect really anyone. What's going to happen is the police are going to be there as damage control. They're literally going to just come in. Exactly, Brielle. They're going to just come. Y'all are being funny in the chat. I'm sorry it's messing me up because y'all are being funny, but I like it, though. It's actually cool because we need to be able to have some type of levity in these very difficult stories, right? But they're literally going to come in just to be able to just pick up bodies and tape up the murder scenes and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys saw this video that happened recently where there was actually a group of people that was shot, one of them being a young teen, and they had put the white sheet over the teen. And it's as crazy as this sounds, the teen was actually still alive, and you could see him like as the cameras were panning and they panned onto him while he was laying on the ground with bullet holes in him, he was still breathing. I'll say that again. There was an actual video out that I can't show because I don't want to get flagged for it. But there was a teen laying on the ground. They put the white sheet over him as if he were dead and gone. And everybody could see that he was actually still, chest was pumping. He was still breathing. That's a different story. But that was also in Chicago. All right. Now, this illustrates the willingness of gangs to wage war regardless of who's around. It also explains why the police department has, according to the police spokesman, assigned an additional 1,700 officers to patrol the streets during the long coming holiday, or during the long holiday weekend. Last year, when the 4th of July fell on a Tuesday, more than 100 people were shot. Were shot between the previous Friday night and early July 5th. This year, the holiday falls on a Wednesday, giving police 2 weekends in which they must contend with an increased possibility of gunfire. Sunday night shooting also underscores the gang violence can erupt without notice despite a concerted police effort to suppress it. They said, we did some targeted raids with federal drug agents, and I'm going to put that out there again, with federal drug agents, meaning the feds are already there and they're already starting to kind of make their way into Chicago as Trump promised. Because Chicago said we don't need the feds here, but they haven't decreased the violence, so Trump is now sending in the feds. I'm assuming, I'm not saying that with absolute certainty, but it seems like that's what it sounds like. So in early June, and went back again last week and made about 50 arrests, he said. They quote, "We're focusing on the West Side and trying to destabilize a gang conflict and violence, and had slowed it down a bit." So the police spokesman said no arrests have been made with the gunman, and the gunman has not been identified. But he said that that detectives believe targets were 3 people, including 2 documented gang members, a 26-year-old man with 9 felony arrests, 9 misdemeanor arrests, and 6 convictions, and a 17-year-old male with 5 felony arrests as a juvenile. If y'all want to hear that again, just rewind it. That's ridiculous. What's up, Athena and everybody else? What's going on, guys? That's absolutely ridiculous. A 26-year-old man with 9 felony arrests, 9 misdemeanor arrests, and 6 convictions. And a 17-year-old male with 5 felony arrests as a juvenile. It's beyond me. The shootings happened after about a 6-month period that was far less violent than the same period during the previous 2 years. According to police statistics, there were 252 homicides in the first 6 months of this year. 79 fewer homicides than were reported during the same time period last year, and were 73 fewer than the same period during 2016. Not that it even matters. It shouldn't be happening, right? Similarly, there were at least 270 fewer shootings incidents during the first 6 months of the year than there were during the same period during either of the previous 2 years. But like I said, it doesn't even matter because it shouldn't be happening, and it's happening way too often. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a couple of these news stories real quick. And of course, I have to give you guys the fair usage warning first. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. What's up, Miss Lady Tissanades? What's going on? Incoeg said 9-strike policy. Apparently, it's not even a policy. They don't have a policy set up for it because these dudes are still out in the streets. 9 felonies? What? And this dude's literally doing life sentences for weed. For marijuana. Take your pens, put it in there. We'll come back to it another time. Let's go ahead and get to this news story.
Girl and 2 of her teen sisters are breaking overnight. A 5-year-old girl and 2 of her teen sisters are among 3 people shot in another mass shooting.
CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli live at Stroger Hospital where that little girl and one of her sisters were taken. Hi, Mike.
Hi, and at last check, that 5-year-old girl was in stable condition with a gunshot wound to her arm, but the condition of her older sister is far more serious. Now, it happened just before 10 o'clock last night near the intersection of Walnut and Homan in East Garfield Park. Yellow evidence markers dotted the street where bullet casings fell from the shooter's weapon. Police say the shooter was gunning for an opposing gang when he...
No. Let me pause. I was talking about something completely different. What I'm saying is I said that I know that there are people that are doing life sentences for having multiple felonies for the 3 strikes law. that the Clintons put into place. There are people that are doing life sentences for something like weed, for having weed 3 times and getting 3 felony convictions. When you can, so maybe I didn't specify. Then I'm talking about this situation. The 2 people that were involved in this was a 26-year-old and a 17-year-old. The 26-year-old is the one that has 9 felonies. And what I'm saying is he ain't doing no life sentence compared to somebody who got sentenced for something a hell of a lot less. If you kind of understand what I'm saying. I'm glad you pointed that out, because sometimes I can be a little bit confusing if I don't specify what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm talking about, is these are the people that are left out on the streets, and they're people that are literally doing life sentences for like non-violent offenses. It's like insane. But let's keep going.
Shooting.
CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli live at Stroger Hospital, where that little girl and one of her sisters were taken. Hi, Mike.
Hi, and at last check, that 5-year-old girl was in stable condition with a gunshot wound to her arm, but the condition of her older sister is far more serious. Now, it happened just before 10 o'clock last night near the intersection of Walnut and Homan in East Garfield Park. Yellow evidence markers dotted the street where bullet casings fell from the shooter's weapon. Police say the shooter was gunning for an opposing gang when he stepped out of a vehicle and began firing at a group of people on a sidewalk. But as is so often the case, innocent children were caught in the crossfire. In this case, police say the kids were in a car with their mom when they were struck.
A mother and 3 children, all on.
I hope y'all heard that.
Mom when they were struck.
A mother and 3 children, all under the age of 15, were caught in his crossfire. And right now I have a young lady who's in critical condition fighting for her life over at the hospital. I also have a female that's under the age of 10, has also been struck. She's being treated at this time.
Of course, that's the 5-year-old. So there was a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Keep the 3 strikes laws. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And the reason I say that, Nate, and I have to specify, is because it's putting, since the 3 strikes laws, I'll say it like this. There has been more people incarcerated since that law has been put into place. And I think that the United States is in the lead for having the most people incarcerated in the world. It hasn't done any good at all. And the fact that they're putting the wrong quote-unquote criminals in jail for non-violent offenses. Yep. For non-violent offenses. Then you have people like this in Chicago who have 9 felonies, which most of them probably are violent offenses. The 3 strikes law was just dumb to sit there and just say, whatever you did, that's life in prison. That's stupid. It doesn't matter what you did. 3 felonies is freaking dumb. But what does matter is if somebody, like I'll give you an example. Like in this case, 9 felonies, they're more than likely violent, and they're out here shooting and killing and trying to kill people. You have one of these 3 girls that are more than likely gonna die from their wounds, because you have one that's in critical condition. Just like my guy Rick Rooster said earlier, that you guys might not know, the story that I did before, that you guys will have to track back a couple of stories. I did a story about some kids that were shot, that were stabbed at the party by that black man, the one that he's got his hair, like he had attacked some refugees. One of the little girls died. Or one of the kids died. So Rick Rooster, maybe you can correct me on that. One of those kids died. Stop doing crimes. I 100% agree with that. Period. But you can't just sit there and say, like, hey, you know, I think there should definitely, something has to change as far as nonviolent offenses compared to violent offenses. You know, in my opinion, you know, it's going to get complicated. Let me just keep moving on with this story. We'll pick up another time. Shout out to United Guns of America in the building. If you guys haven't subscribed to United Guns of America, click the 3 dots by his name. go to that channel, hit the subscribe button, so that way when he goes live, you guys can see his videos. Then y'all can come back over here, right? But y'all make sure and subscribe to him and the Guru and the Whore, and also subscribe to the Relationship Rehab. It'll do wonders for your relationships. Shout out to my brother, Relationship Rehab, in the damn building. What up, bro?
Now, the 14-year-old was shot 3 times in her chest, arm, and abdomen. The 15-year-old was hit in her thigh, and the 5-year-old girl, again, was shot in her arm. Police say 3 documented gang members were also hit, included among them a 17-year-old male. So far, no arrests in this case. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. Reporting live outside the ER at Stroger, Mike Puccinelli, CBS 2 News. Marissa.
All right, Mike, thank you.
Let's see what you got here, Dion. Dion said, arrested a dude over not paying for a pizza. Dude was charged with strong arm robbery, felony. This is Cook County, and it was his 3rd strike, and he got life over. Oh my God! Wow, Dion, send me that story. I'll do it. It's not about kids, but I'll do it. That's absolutely insane. There was a dude arrested over not paying for a pizza. He was charged with strong armed robbery, which is a felony. And since it's in Cook County, it's his 3rd strike, and he got life in jail over a damn pizza. But in Chicago, we could do drive-bys and shoot and hit anybody and everybody. And they're hitting kids. They're hitting grandparents. They're hitting just anybody and everybody that's out there. You can't be walking around. You can't be sitting around. You can't be outside, period. It's like Beirut. You are a prisoner in your own home. If you guys remember the Beirut reference, look it up. And also they referenced that in the movie New Jack City at the Carter Apartments. Prisoners in your own home. So yeah, exactly. That's essentially what it amounts to, is a life sentence for pizza. That's essentially what it amounts to. Crime is wrong, but there has to be some level of a rating system for crimes. You can't just sit there and say a pizza is a strong arm robbery for a pizza is a crime. So because it's considered a crime, it goes in as a life sentence. But because this dude was a minor and he was under the age of 18, and he can commit what? How many felonies? 9 felonies? And they don't count just because he's a minor. He's out shooting and killing people. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't understand how they're equivocating this to life sentences for things that are non-violent compared to people that are getting shot and killed and ain't doing no time. But don't be caught with a crack rock, though. Don't be caught with none of that. All right? Let's keep going.
3 young sisters are shot while sitting in their car with their mother. At this hour, police are still searching for suspects. Thanks for being with us. I'm Erin Kennedy.
And I'm Marissa Bailey. The girls are 3 of 6 people shot in the incident. CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli joins us live now from outside of the emergency room at Stroger Hospital. And Mike, we understand that
yeah, and that's what I want you guys to understand. You know, first and foremost, we don't want people doing crime. Crime is crime. We get it. But also, like, what did they say? Kitten Paul said the punishment doesn't fit the crime. The punishment should absolutely fit the crime. So I'll give you an example. Like if you take a candy bar, you steal it out of a store. If there were a law that says that you could be executed for committing a quote unquote crime, do you think that something like this is something that you should face a firing squad for? No. But if they say that, hey, if you're underage, then we'll sentence you less, but yet you take one of these and you go put somebody out of their misery, you go shooting at people, but because of a technicality in the law, well, he wasn't actually grown, that you shouldn't face a firing squad. Yes, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. That's all I'm saying. It should make more sense. Kaiser, what city are you from? I don't know what city you're from, because this is my first time seeing you in my chat. You said that I'm not from your city. Well, you're right. I'm not from your city, nor do I want to be from your city based on the way that things are going in your city. All right? But there are some people in my chat that are from your city. I've been outside all day in Chicago and nothing happened to me. Well, Kaiser, based on the statistics, it's just a matter of time before your dumb ass gets shot. Since you want to say it like that, I'll be honest with you. We always got somebody that comes in here and says some stupid stuff. Well, that was a stupid thing that you said. You're saying that you don't like me talking about your city because I'm not from your city. But I'm telling you, I don't want to be from your city. I don't want to be a part of dysfunction. Your city is dysfunctional, period. Your city got dumb laws. Your city don't know how to live and let live. I don't think anybody even wants to go to the entire city of Chicago because of what's going on in a small portion of Chicago. They're literally writing off your entire city behind a group of dumbasses in your city. Now, how about that? All right. Now, my guy Rick Rooster said, gangs here in Chicago, somebody from the city says, gangs here in Chicago are having influenced minors do the dirty deeds because they will be first-time offenders. Okay, I got what you're saying, Rick Rooster. You wrote it wrong, but I understood what you're saying. He said, gangs here in Chicago have influenced minors to do the dirty deeds because they will be first-time offenders, manipulating the laws. They get off easy for their first crime, and they get their street cred at the same time. That's the point. That's the point. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Please do not delete messages. Don't time out people. Okay? Let people chop it up in here. He said, it's a shame I feel safer in Detroit than Chicago. I don't know why that comment got deleted, but like I say, guys, we don't have to moderate here in this chat, all right? We don't have to moderate here, especially not today. Let people talk, and I can address them. Got to give me the chance to address them, okay? But I love my moderators. I love you guys. It's all good, but I want to be able to talk to the people, okay? Here we go.
3 young sisters are shot while sitting in their car with their mother. At this hour, police are still searching for suspects. Thanks for being with us. I'm Erin Kennedy.
And I'm Marissa Bailey. The girls are 3 of 6 people shot in the incident. CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli joins us live now from outside of the emergency room at Stroger Hospital. And Mike, we understand that the youngest victim is the age of a typical kindergartner, right?
That's right, she's just 5 years old, and at last check she was in stable condition in the emergency room here at Stroger, but the same can't be said of her older sister, who right now is also being treated in the emergency room here for what are described as devastating injuries.
Yeah, I got 3 shots.
That's the police radio just before 10 o'clock last night.
There's another victim at 3412 on Walnut.
When the shooting stopped, 6 people had been injured at Homan and Walnut by a drive-by shooter who stepped out of a black sedan before indiscriminately opening fire.
Right now I have a young lady who's in critical condition fighting for her life.
That 14-year-old wasn't even the youngest victim. Her 5-year-old sister was shot in her arm. A third sister, a 15-year-old, was shot in her leg. Community activist Andrew Holmes says the impact of those bullets will reverberate for years.
The victims here at Stroger, especially the 5-year-old and the 14-year-old young lady, they all have permanent damage.
Holmes, who regularly covers violence on city streets, was quick to label this particular shooter.
I call it a terrorist attack.
And the shooter is still at large. That's why police implored the public to help them catch a would-be killer.
This is one that we need the help from the community on. We can't let this continue.
Last night's mass shooting was the 6th in the last couple weeks. In all, those shootings have left more than 30 people injured and at least 3 dead. 10 victims have been 17 or younger.
This is a historical gang conflict, and the senseless gun violence that's occurring over here catches another family in its crosshairs.
I had somebody in the chat said, don't go visit South Side or West Side Chicago tonight. Stay downtown if you're visiting Chicago. That's a damn shame, man. The fact that you have to be that mindful about where you're going around the city, I think is insane. That's absolutely insane. And some people just ain't gonna know any better. Let me see what my brother Relationship Rehab said. He said, violence is violence. It don't matter if you're from the city or not. The truth is the truth. Our people are suffering in the city. So kudos to you, DJ Just Jay, for having the balls to discuss it and salute, bro. Thank you very much. And this is the thing. I've done stories out of Texas because I live out here in Texas. I've done stories out of Oklahoma. I used to be from Oklahoma. What's up, Chastity? I used to be from Oklahoma, but I live in Texas now. Done stories out of California, Florida, Chicago, New York. It don't matter. It like, why does it even matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, violence is violence. Like I say, I'm a child advocate first here at the So Do You Dig. So there are definitely stories that are going to catch my attention before others do. Those are usually, like, all of us have our niche. Especially for those of us who are content creators, everybody has something that they specialize in that they talk about. Relationship Rehab talks about relationships. My brother Tommy talks about what he talks about. I talk about what I talk about. My sister Packer Girl talks about what she talks about. Like, we all have our things that we like to talk about. One of the things that I like to talk about are the kids. Right? So it doesn't matter. As long as it's in the United States, it is no disrespect to anybody from any other country. My particular focus is in the United States because this is the country that I primarily reside in. If I get a chance to visit some other countries, then maybe I could start talking about some of the things that they have going on, and maybe I can relate some of that stuff to what we have going on here. But I will say this, there are actually some countries that do a hell of a lot better with the way that they treat people and the way that they live and the way that they look at life compared to what we do here. And we can definitely take lessons from other countries. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to limit. I'll say this, Relationship Rehab, based on what that dude was saying earlier. I'll say this. Those are the type of people that say, well, white people do it too. Those are those kind of people. It's like they don't want me to talk about certain places. They don't want me to talk about certain topics. They don't want us to do this. They don't want us to do that. Well, in my opinion, I'm just like, well, then you go talk about what you want to go talk about on your channel. YouTube is free. Everybody has the right to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. Freedom of speech. Stop trying to put us in this slavery mentality of we can only talk about certain things. We can talk about whatever we want to. And we're not going to be stopped. People try to flag us all the time. People flag Tommy every single damn day. They flag this channel actually every single day. But the reason that the videos are able to stay up is because I found a few loopholes that allowed me to keep some of these videos up. Not all of them, but most of them. But you're not going to stop us from saying what we want to say, period. All right? Let's keep going. We're almost done, guys. Let's keep going.
Younger.
This is a historical gang conflict, and the senseless gun violence that's occurring over here catches another family in its crosshairs.
Now, in addition to the 3 sisters who are being treated, the 3 other victims are also being treated in hospitals at this hour, but police say the other 3 victims are all documented gang members. As for the number of mass shootings, well, we asked police about it, and they say they typically go up in the summer because so many people are outside hanging in groups.
Wow.
Reporting live outside the emergency room at Stroger, Mike Puccinelli, CBS 2 News. Marissa, Aaron.
All right, Mike, thank you very much.
3 young sisters are shot while...
Let me see. Somebody said, does Tommy not stream anymore? It's been a while. Well, why are you here asking about Tommy streaming when he says go to his website? Hypertensions. I don't think you guys really give a damn about Tommy. To be honest with you, some of you guys don't. Not everybody. Hashtag not all. Yeah, I watched the show last night. Nate Wynn said Tommy streamed for 5+ hours. How do we know that? Because we went to his website. Gossiping is for women. What's gossip though? How do you define gossip, Kaiser? Kaiser Larry, explain that. How do you define gossip? What's gossip to you? Judah Jetty said they're not dropping they're not just dropping guns off in Chicago, but also allowing rogue. I know you meant rogue government provocateurs to commit what looks like random acts of violence. I mean, at the end of the day, if we can control our homes, if we can control the children that we raise and having children inside of wedlock and taking care of those things, a lot of this other bullshit would end up not meaning anything. The government hasn't really been doing anything except trying to generate income and generate control since the beginning of government. That's what they've always done. The difference is what we as Americans decide to acquiesce to and what we give into and how we raise our children, what to believe, what not to believe, which direction to go, which direction not to go, who we vote in our local elections or who we don't. At the end of the day, if they drop a brick of cocaine off at my front door, I have an option of leaving it there, reporting it, or taking it in the kitchen, chopping it up, mixing it with this, mixing it with that. I'm not telling you the recipe, but I'm just saying. At the end of the day, everything is a choice, whether the guns are there or not. I'm gonna show you guys a picture here real quick, and I meant to put this up earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't get any of the pictures up, but I'll get them up right now, okay? Let me get some of these off the screen for you. And like I say, that's why I don't want people blocked or timed out here, because I want to be able to address those folks, okay? So again, shout out to my moderators. You know I love you guys, but I want to be able to address some of the things that these people say, so that way we can start having these conversations openly with each other, okay? Dropping guns off is a total lie. I don't think they're dropping guns. Well, like I said, we're opening up another can of worms. Gossiping is giving a generalized opinion on others. Okay, so let's just be direct, Kaiser. Are you saying that I'm giving a generalized opinion? Or am I giving an opinion about facts? Because there is a little bit of a difference. So I want you to type a little bit faster for me and tell me what you mean. What's up to LV? What up, LV? You said gossiping is giving a generalized opinion on others. But I'm giving an opinion about facts. The facts are, was there two dumbasses with guns that should not have guns because they're felons, meaning they cannot legally possess guns. And the fact that Chicago has the strictest gun laws. They are #1 for gun laws in the nation. #2, it is a fact that they shot at other people and ended up hitting 3 children. Age 15, age 14, and age 5. That is a fact. Another fact is that one of them has 9 felonies. Another one has 6 felonies. That's a fact. So if I say something along the lines of, it seems like these dudes don't have any home training. These dudes don't have any morals. These dudes don't value manhood. They don't value themselves. They don't value their lives. They don't value their futures because they didn't have fathers in their lives. Because I can tell you this. One thing that you know from raising children and being a parent and all of this kind of good stuff, if you had a father in your life, one of the things that having a father in your life will teach you more times than none. Matter of fact, I need to pause it on that one right there. I'm going to have to go back. Because I want y'all to see that picture on my screen right there. That's the one. #1 in gun control. #1 in murder and gang violence. Okay? One thing that fathers will know, or people that were raised by fathers know, as men, you will learn the value of manhood from a man. Sorry, women can't teach you the value of manhood. Only a man can do you that. When they say only a man can teach you how to be a man, that's true. But only a man can teach you the value of a man. This is why most men growing up understand and listen first. Because you guys can't stop the violence because you don't understand where it comes from. So let me try to enlighten you asses out there in Chicago that are perpetuating this by continuing to keep pushing out excuses. There's no accountability. You talk about black women are strong. Black women are queens. They're this, they're that. But they're the ones raising the children to do this stupid stuff. If they had fathers in the homes, they would value manhood. They would value their lives. And if they value their lives, they're not going to put their lives in jeopardy by doing dumb shit to other people. And then you multiply that across the board. So that, in essence, means that you can stop the violence. How? By having everybody put a value on their own lives. How can you get your donation back? What did you donate to? To the person that said that they sent a donation, where did you send your donation to and what did you donate towards? Okay? So that's where we're at. That's why fathers are important. Because you can't say that, well, we need even more stricter gun control. There is no place in the United States that has more gun control rules and laws than Chicago, Illinois. Number one in gun control. Number one in gun control. And in turn, how are you rewarded for being number one in gun control? Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. We got the strongest gun control laws in the goddamn United States of America. And in turn, the end product result is that you are number one in murders and gang violence. Well, to that person that says that they donated to a movie, go to his website and you can get your money back there. This is the Subtle You Dig, and the Subtle You Dig ain't got no movie. The Subtle You Dig didn't take a donation from your dumb ass. All right? So if you donated to anything, then go to his website and go ask him for your money back. Simple. That's a simple thing. Y'all have questions? I have real answers for you. So since we know that you didn't donate, because the only people that donated is the only people that ain't worried about it. Shout out to the people that actually really did contribute their money towards something. Because the people here in the Subtle You Dig, the people that support me, DJ Just J, that donate to me are happy with where their money has gone. The people like me and others that donate to Tommy are happy with what our money has done. We are happy. The only people that complain about what we do here at the Subtle You Dig and what Tommy does on his channels, the only people that have complaints are the people that ain't contributed shit. And that's part of the problem. The people that don't know nothing got a whole lot to say. Like James Brown said, talking loud and saying nothing. The people that don't know anything got the most to say. The people that have contributed nothing complain about everything. What's up, Ty Sands? Y'all remember that movie, Malcolm X? Get your hands out of my pocket. Why would anybody be worried about my money, about DJ Just J's money? If I decide to take my money, as some of you guys know, I'm not going to call your names out. Some of you guys that follow my Instagram know that there was a man that I took some of my donations for, and I picked up him and this little girl. They were home. I don't know if they were homeless, but they looked like, maybe they were up on some hard times. And I took them out for dinner that night and bought some stuff for their family. Believe it or not, I actually had people that complained and said, well, you should have minded your business. You shouldn't have did this and you shouldn't have did that. But the people that gave me the money was like, kudos. We appreciate what you did, Jay. We love that. That's awesome. That's beautiful. Matter of fact, let me share that story. The people that gave me the money was very happy. The people that have been donating to this platform and watch how we've grown are very happy. How we've gone from once Tommy left the channel and got it started and allowed others to run it, and they ran it into the damn ground and then decided to leave. And left the channel high and dry. Everybody left. So when somebody sees that you left, quote unquote, trash on the ground, and they decide to turn that trash into a treasure, now people have a problem. I don't know why it is that people, we've always talked about the mentality, right? The people with the mentality is what we need to change. We need to change the mentality of the crabs in a barrel mentality. If people decide to make a black man rich behind YouTube, then so be it. It's like Tommy says all the time. Maybe I just need to hear more people say it. So relationship rehab, when you do your next show, make sure you tell them, why aren't you complaining about PewDiePie? Why aren't you complaining about some of these other YouTubers and gamers that don't talk about a goddamn thing? They talk about no social issues. They talk about no social change. They don't talk about fathers. They don't talk about, you know, child support. They don't talk about none of this stuff. They're funny. They're jokesters. And they're getting millions of dollars. But the people that actually care about their community and care about the children and want to stop the violence and are putting their lives at risk every single day to push out a positive message, have to risk their lives, risk their reputation, risk their way of being able to live and provide for their children, have to turn around and put up with this bullshit of people coming in and saying, we don't like what you're doing. We want to tear down what you're doing. We want to stop your money flow. We want to discourage people from watching you. The people who are actually making a real impact on the ground, in the streets. Don't get it twisted. Tommy is in the streets. Tommy's in the streets a hell of a lot more than me. But I at least be out there. I travel. So I can show you evidence of what I actually do and what I contribute, as well as others can. But how are we paying in return? What they say, you shouldn't be getting anything. Take your PayPal link down. Take your Patreon down. You should be doing this for free. For what? Should we not be supported? Maybe I should just be a jokester and not talk about nothing. Go get my gaming sticks and get on here and game and be funny and you know, do stupid crap. Be funny and get millions of dollars, or do something that actually can change people's lives at the risk of not getting a goddamn thing. If you want to see the change, you put your money where your mouth is, and we are going to be up against opposition, because I think that people like that don't actually want to see change. They don't want to see change. They like the way that we're going. They like the fact that black women, 50% of them have herpes. They like the fact that too many of us are dying behind AIDS. They like the fact that twice as many black women have children as black men. They like the fact that children are being raised without a father in the households. They like the fact that men aren't choosing to be in their children's lives. They like the fact that people are more worried about getting sex and what they can get out of sex than they are about building families and building structure. We could even talk about the churches. The pastor don't even run the church for free. And that's a nonprofit a quote unquote nonprofit organization. But like Creflo Dollar said, I need a $74 million brand new jet so I can get to places quickly and to be able to get to people quickly, but the church can't ride on my plane that they paid for. All you got to do is look and see where you're putting your money at. There's a lot of people out there putting their money into funny people, into content that ain't going to change a goddamn thing. But you'll let somebody like me, somebody like Relationship Rehab, somebody like Tommy, somebody like Packer Girl, somebody like my brother Shouty King, you'll let us go starve for views and starve for money and starve for how we end up trying to support our platform and starve out our voice, flag our videos down, thumbs down our videos, come in my chat and talk all kind of bullshit. They will allow that to happen, but we don't want to address the issue of the fact that we are passing legislation in Chicago that says we're going to make strict gun control even stricter. You're putting your people at the most risk by saying they can't arm themselves. Freaking ridiculous. They say, Dre the Dream said black churches bring in $253 million a week according to stats. Y'all pay y'all tithes faithfully in church. And the church pastors are having sex with every single woman in there, whether they are married or whether they're not. They ain't putting a doorknob on the church. They ain't paving the parking lot. They're not going out and going on missions. They're not doing a damn thing for anybody in their community. I see churches all around all of these communities. They're not going up and sweeping up trash. They're not going out and ministering to people. They're not doing a damn thing except for making sure that we get enough people here that got enough money to continue to keep funding our thing here. And that way we can fill up our pockets, and we're going to continue to perpetuate a Bible that was given to us by people that hated us. Uh-oh, am I going too far? Uh-oh, am I going too far? Am I going too far? We are pushing a message from a book that was given to us from people that hated us. And we're willing to pay for it. And we see how far church has gotten us. I've seen pastors with the flyest cars, with the flyest suits, with the flyest belts, nice houses, all this stuff, all while members that are living in squalor, that ain't got shit, they can't barely keep their lights on, and you're going to tell them that if you tithe your 10% that God told you to tithe, that somehow that's going to make your life better. Somehow God is going to keep your lights on. Somehow your rent's going to get paid. Well, the cold part about it and the reality of the whole damn thing is if you have a multi-million-dollar church, then there's no reason why that church shouldn't be saying the rich should be taking care of the poor in the church. Pay a couple light bills. Pay a couple mortgages. Pay for some counseling for some people. Get them in some drug rehab. Why aren't the churches funding rehab programs? Do y'all know how expensive it is to get somebody in drug rehab? Let me know. Y'all need to say something in the chat if y'all want me to stop preaching. All right. Say, Jay, stop. You're talking too much logic right now. If y'all want me to stop, let me know if y'all want me to stop. I might be going way off the rocker off of this story. Because in my opinion, I see all of this stuff being tied together. We got more jails than we do schools. I'll say that again. We got more jails than we do schools. We're building more prisons than we are schools. Go back and watch my video on the state of Oklahoma schools, the second worst in the nation. They have books out in schools that were probably out when I was a kid. Torn, tattered, and not enough. Chairs broken, ceilings broken, electrical broken, terrible, smelly, pissy bathrooms broken. Parking lots with holes in them. Teachers not getting paid enough. They don't even teach their children in the homes. They don't even teach their children at home how to read and write. But you send them to school and say, it's the teacher's fault that this kid is dumb. It's the teacher's fault that this kid ain't got no home training. It's the teacher's fault that this kid can't read and write and can't add and can't speak properly. Domino said, job assistance counseling, they have resources. Hashtag not all. Let me make sure and preface that. It's not all. But I do know too many of them aren't providing essential things that the poorest of their people aren't even getting access to. I'm not going to beg and plead and ask for anything. What you guys send me is whatever you send me. Whatever it takes for me to keep the platform running, that's what I'm going to do. If it takes me taking a couple days off to go work my part-time job to make up for the rest of it, it is what it is. We'll just catch the content when we do. So shout out to the people that already understand that. We're going to continue to push out this message. I think Tommy has proven that to you. The fact that they've brought him down that freaking far and he still continues to find ways to give us content, I think is absolutely amazing. I don't know how he does it. And it's hard enough for me to put together one video for you guys, you know, one show for you guys. And he gave us 5 hours last night. And didn't have his normal crowd there. Great show. The show was so good, I had to call in. I had to call in and chime in. Some of y'all saw that last night. I always say, support the changes that you want to see. You have to put your money where your mouth is. If you want more people to push out the truth, you have to be willing to put your money into that thing. Put your money where your mouth is. And I'm going to continue to put my heart into what it is that I want to see happen. And I want to see a change happen. And yes, I'm going to continue to risk ridicule and risk flagging and risk this and risk that in order to push out my brother Tommy Sotomayor's message into the end. Truth and logic. We need to have it. We need to have it at all times. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Truth and logic. Kids should have it. Adults should have it. Everybody should have it. The world be a better place with truth and logic rather than everybody being concerned about what makes me feel good. I want the truth, not what makes me feel good. All right. So hopefully you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from with that. That's pretty much all I got to say. I've shown you guys the video on that. And I would really, really, really hope that, you know, this will be a little bit of an eye opener here on the 4th of July for people that, you know, make sure you go out and vote in your local elections. Like, you know, Chicago really needs to come off that bull crap of stricter gun control. They need to allow the citizens to be able to have guns in their hands. That's the only way you're going to combat these idiots at this point. All right. People need to be able to protect themselves against tyranny. That's what the Second Amendment rights and relationship rehab will tell me if I'm wrong. That's what the Second Amendment was put in place for, was to prevent tyranny. Get your license, get trained, and buy your weapons because it is your right as an American citizen to be able to protect yourself against anyone that would bring tyranny against you. Matter of fact, I like that. Rick Rooster, let's end on your point. He said, the first step of solving a problem is admitting there is one. I'd like to say that's the second step, but I do like it. I'll go with that. Oh, you said problem solving. Matter of fact, we'll go with that. That's the first step in problem solving. I like that. Admitting there's a problem. So what I say is when it comes to troubleshooting, the first step of troubleshooting is to identify the problem, which is essentially the same thing. All right. So there was somebody asking for my email address. I will put it on the screen for you right there. Uh-oh, a little bit loud. But that's the email address right there. If you guys ever want to reach out to me or if there's anything that you guys need, I'd be more than happy to try to make sure that you guys get that. So what I got to do is I got to go out and go do one thing here real quick. But I wanted to thank you guys for coming through. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you guys for hearing my message out. And I hope that it meant something. I like this t-shirt. This is America or America. I like this shirt, man. So I wanted to wear that on the 4th of July, man. Like I say, man, make sure that you guys protect yourselves. Make sure that y'all be safe. Make sure that you love each other. Make sure that you push out the message of truth and logic. Truth and logic. Truth and logic. All right? We're children advocates first here at the Soda You Dig. Everything else will come thereafter. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you guys for coming through. We had almost about 300 people come through. And all I can say is thank you guys, man. I definitely appreciate you guys coming through. Continue to make sure that you guys subscribe. The number of subscribers is actually going up quite a bit. Shout out to my guy Rick Rooster for providing me this particular story. We got a lot more stories coming up, so I will definitely try to do them as soon as I get an opportunity. And you know, like I said, with you guys' contributions, it makes it a hell of a lot easier for me to be able to get to those stories and get them done in a timely manner, okay?